Good day, Toronto. Welcome to another episode of Prime Property. So glad you could join us here. Hope you guys are staying warm right now and safe as we've had one of the worst serious winter storms that I can remember the last few years. Since I've moved to a new place, I've had to shovel and it's been a lot of shoveling. It's the first time I've had to shovel in like 2 decades, but you know what? I kind of enjoy it. It's peace and quiet and some exercise. So it's been 2 years to the dot since I uploaded my last video called Thinking About Pre-Construction Condo for Investment. Here are the pros and the cons. So I wanted to take this time because it's been 2 years since I've uploaded that video and so much has changed. Literally, so much has changed. So I'm gonna update the pros and cons to 2019. But if you wanna check out the 2017 video of the pros and cons for pre-construction investment, I'll leave it in the description below, okay? So without further ado, let's get started. 1. Pre-construction condo investment is still one of the easiest real estate investment strategy out there. You sign on the dotted line, give your deposits, and wait a few years for your condo to be built. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as the kids would say. Plus, you also get the best choice of tenants when you buy in the correct area, and being a landlord is super easy because you have a newly built property. Number 2. Pre-con is still one of the few remaining ways you can look for a property that cash flow positives in Toronto. Look, getting a property in Toronto to cash flow positive is no easy task, and I can tell you from personal experience. Buying pre-con is one of the few remaining ways that allows you to buy at current market rate but collect rent in future market rate, effectively allowing you to make your property cash flow positive. Of course, you must buy in the correct areas because not every area or project is going to be equal. Not to mention, not all of them have the anticipated cash flow positive to it. So if you want to stay up to date on these investment-worthy pre-construction condos, make sure you subscribe to the Prime PPTO VIP mailing list. I'll leave a link in the description below for you to sign up, okay? Oh, by the way, here's a fun fact. When I uploaded a 2017 version of this video, I was still using about $1,800 to $1,900 for a one-bedroom rental in downtown. Now, we're at $2,200 to $2,300. What a difference 2 years makes, right? As a landlord, woohoo! Number 3, you don't need to get a mortgage right now. With the changes from the stress test in the public eyes and the lending landscape behind the curtains with the banks, and getting a mortgage right now is harder than ever. Gone are the days where you just really show up with your driver's license and a T4 slip and you get a mortgage. No, those don't exist anymore. The good old days. With a pre-construction condo, you can push back your mortgage until you're more qualified to get one in the coming years. This allows you to get into the market right now without having the market outpace you in the future. So that's a major pro. Number 4, you have the newest condo on the block. I talked about this in 2017, and of course this still holds true today. You get the shiniest and the newest condo on the block on completion. Everyone wants the most high-tech condo with all the bells and whistles, and when it completes, you will have that. There are many, many more pros, but I have to be fair and transparent and have to list out some of the cons that comes with a pre-construction investment. Number 1, everything I mentioned in the 2017 video is basically still a con. None of those things have really changed. I now recap it for you. Waiting for a condo to be built is lost opportunity cost. That is less time you can have your tenant be paying down your mortgage. There's probably going to be delays. You can basically expect them. There are only a handful of projects I know that got their occupancy on closing when it said so on the teardown documents. Hidden fees, those still exist. Although I say hidden, they really aren't. It's just most of the time the realtor who sold you or someone else that pre-construction condo failed to explain what the closing fees would be. Make sure you allot about 5% of your purchase price for closing costs before the HST. Another one is floor plans can still change on you. The purchase agreement is basically written in the favor of the builders for sure. The only thing that may have changed from 2017 is the appreciation rate we were using. The last few years, the condo market has experienced such a boom that anyone that bought even the later stages of the condo project experienced some serious appreciation. Okay, with the recap out of the way, let's go to number 2 of the cons. The gap between pre-construction and resale is the biggest ever. The whole notion of future pricing a project still exists right now, except that the difference in future pricing is so big because there's so much expected economic growth in Toronto. Most builders are future pricing on condos way more than what they were before, especially since getting permits to build condos now has become stupidly hard. I won't get into that with this video, but trust me, the approval time has increased significantly. Number 3, you do not need to get a mortgage right now. Yeah, I know. I said this as a pro, but it could also be a con because Things can change in the years it takes to complete your pre-construction condo. Take an example of 2 years ago when I uploaded this video. The stress test was implemented and the foreign buyer tax came into place. Things can change. The mortgage qualifications could be tighter or they could be looser, so you never know. Number 4, with so much negative press around the termination of the 2 major projects in Vaughan, there is still a chance that your project that you invest into can be canceled on you. Now, that's a lot of information, especially if you're starting to consider your first investment property just right now. There are many strategies in real estate, but which one that works for you is generally going to be determined by your goals and the type of lifestyle you're after. There's no cookie cutter answer, but hopefully this gives you a Coles Note summary of the pre-construction world. If the cons outweigh the pros in 2019 pre-construction condo market for you, give me a call and see what other options are available for you. I'll leave my contacts right here for the screen for you to give me a call. I'm more than happy to chat with you for a few minutes. Until next time, guys, happy real estating.